All right. Well, today on Technologies Now, this is episode 4 for us, is Austin Gonzalez of FP Roofing and Construction. So, welcome, Austin. Thanks for joining us.
Well, thanks for having me.
You got it, man. We're going to keep this pretty casual, but we definitely want to hear your story, your successes you've had. But let's turn up to you. Can you just kind of walk us through your professional journey, kind of how you got to, where you're at, and whatever you want to share with us? Well, I'll ask the other questions from there as well.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I started in the roofing industry, back in 2019. Uh, I worked for another company that went bankrupt upside down. And so that happens a lot in the business world. And when that happened, I was kind of forced to start my own business and pick up all the pieces that got left behind with that company.
Oh,
And ever since then, I've kind of just been trying to make a difference and rebuild trust in contractors. So that's kind of led to multiple changes. One of the things we've done recently is we've got approved on the good contractors list, which is easy to explain by comparing it to the Better Business Bureau,
hmm
except it adds a little bit more value by putting the money where the mouth is. So they'll warranty up to $25,000 worth of work that we do on every job, um, allowing us to have a third party warranty system with their own inspectors if a customer has a complaint to come out and say, hey, I don't think this is right. They'll come out and confirm. If they feel that the customer is correct, they'll have us fix it or they'll kick us off the list and they will have another contractor on the list fix it for them. So
wow.
it kind of really keeps integrity in the picture. Otherwise, it makes sure that the customer gets the help they need. And that's probably the biggest recent change. We've been doing a nonprofit give back program for about a year. I think by the end of the year, we'll have given almost $7,000 back to local nonprofits.
Nice.
Um, they're on our partners page if you're curious as to what they are, or I can try to list them off. But the general concept is my nephew was born almost 3 years ago now with Down syndrome. And I got my brother hooked up with Grand to Dream. And even though they didn't necessarily help him directly immediately, some of the people there were very helpful getting him into programs that would help their general life and quality of life.
Nice. Yeah.
So they got him on caretaker programs and all that sort of things, and really made the whole process easy where he was hitting a lot of walls before. And that kind of sparked it for me. Like, I need to help people with a mission do their thing because without people like that, my brother would have been SOL. So,
Right. Oh my gosh.
yeah.
No, that's very important. I saw that on your website. You're doing a lot of support there, and then I also saw your testimonials. And I know you outside of the podcast here, and you've got a fantastic reputation. What's the key to doing the right thing for the customer?
Well, you have to have that intention from the start. you know,
That's fair, right?
every
Right.
everybody's in business to make a living, but y- doing continuous, fair, and honest business is the best policy rather than trying to push those boundaries and see how much you can get away with. So,
That's actually a great soundbite right there. You have to have the right intention from the start to actually do a good job, which of
yeah,
course we should always have. But we do know that some industries don't have the best reputation. But when you find the right person to walk you through this, the right company to take care of you, obviously that's the key. And I'm guessing. Actually, I know that's where the testimonials are coming from. So that's working well for you.
yeah, that's what I go for every time. It's making a difference in the industry and giving people an experience where they can feel comfortable saying, "Hey, this industry isn't so bad after all."
Right, right. You just need the right person, the right company to walk you through it, and we'll take care of things. And then
Exactly.
what kind of work do you do? I mean, obviously roofing's in the name, but what kind of business or jobs do you work
So
on?
we're Class C licensed contractors, which means we can do everything with residential homes. Um, granted, that doesn't include the master trades that are like mechanical, that's HVAC, heating and cooling, electrical, or plumbing. We do have vendors that have their master licenses for those things, but flooring, kitchens, bathrooms, basements, we can have paint, drywall, all the interior things, and then it's the same thing on the outside. We do siding, we do windows, painting, gutters, and of course roofing.
Yes. Excellent. Excellent. And then more about you. You're in Colorado. I'm in Colorado. Are you a Colorado native, or where are
Yep.
you from? Okay, I thought it was the case. I didn't know that for sure.
Yeah. I was born in Louisville, actually. I was raised in the Lafayette area, or Boulder Light now.
Yes, exactly. Boulder Light. Yeah. All right. Awesome. Let me ask you, our company, I'm not here to pitch technologies now, but we definitely have an interest in how you're using technology with your business, or has technology really changed anything that you're doing in, in your day to day or week to week or month to month?
Oh, tremendously. Technology, AI specifically, is the new wave in everything. We use an app called Job Nimbus as our CRM. I know a lot of roofing companies do. It was kind of built out and designed for us. It has integrations with our suppliers. It helps us give out estimates. We can order roof measurements through it. Um, that integrates with AI, like ours is a Levo. And what it does is it's an answering virtual assistant where it can get information from customers, set appointments, put those appointments into our Job Nimbus calendar, uh, where there's an opening on the team. That way, somebody will get to it at that time if it's available. I mean, even Chat GPT as an AI helping write short repair contracts or subcontractor agreements or uh, lien waivers. Of course, anything legal like that, we still have an attorney look over, but getting a bunch of documents together and saying, hey, can you review these, saves us so much on overhead. It allows us to keep our prices lower.
Yes. Yes. No, that makes sense. So, how much? I don't know if you can track this or have tracked this before, but how much more efficient are you with technology? Because that sounds like a perfect suite of tools to, spend your time very effectively, work very efficiently. What do you think?
Well, I don't know. I haven't tracked it personally. I know that I'm not even 30 yet, and the technology is escaping me. It's like,
That's all right. That's all right.
yeah,
I think the fact that technology works and your systems are working, and if you're not talking about it, it's because it's working for you, right? I mean, that's how I would see it, for the
yeah.
most part. Yeah. So, what about the next 5, 10 years? Is there some technology that you think could help? Do you see AI? And I'm not going to get into the conspiracy AI if it's going to destroy humanity or it's going to be our greatest helper. But that's an interesting question, actually. But and if you want to answer that, you can answer that. That's great. You can answer whatever
uh,
you want here. But
we don't need to go down that rabbit hole, but
okay,
I feel like in the next 5 to 10 years, there's going to be quite a bit of adjustment in most industries. The only thing is, in the roofing industry, like people have got into using drones. I think that those drones could become more accurate because even currently, I don't feel that they're as accurate as a individual up on the roof. But I mean, with the advancements every year in phone cameras, I imagine it's going to be so much better before you know it. It just doesn't catch the damage as clear. The other thing that it won't really take over is when you walk a roof, you can feel around and see like soft spots on the roof, or you can actually touch the damage itself and see if it feels more like a bulge or a divot, or you can check for flashing that's loose and silicone if it's falling off, and just some of those things can't be mimicked. On the sales side of things, I think the whole system's going to be overturned. I mean, writing estimates can be streamlined. I don't know if you've ever heard of Roofle, but it's kind of like a software that pumps out an estimate based on zip code and roof size and using the person's address, like aerial measurement tools. And so I think that that side of things will be different, but the building and inspecting process is just better with people.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense at this point. So you don't see a little robot or a drone landing on the roof, walking around, touching everything to try to figure out what's going on. I mean, that sounds really interesting and futuristic, but I don't know. That's kind of what I'm picturing now, based on what you said. And it's going to have
Yeah,
sensors and all these sorts of things that humans
uh,
naturally notice, right? You notice if it's squishy or if it's firm or if it's whatever.
exactly. Yeah, I mean that feels almost like it would have to be like a utopian era, like just the leaps
Right.
and bounds they would
Yeah.
have to make in technology for it to work.
Yeah. No, yeah, I can't picture it myself, but that's the visual I get of, yeah, maybe it's the utopian world of that's how you send your guys out. Someone still has to do the work, has to estimate it correctly, has to do these sorts of things, but anything that can make us a little more efficient is always really good. So cool. So, what has been the key to success for you? You've kind of answered this, but what is you said your edge is rebuilding trust and trying to make sure people don't see this as, the bad construction people, bad roofing people, but, we're going to do a great job for you. Is that is that your secret sauce, or is it more than that? I mean, how do you manage your business? How do you do these sorts of things that, most folks are just maybe not able to do or haven't tried to do? I don't know. What do you think it is, or what do you
Well,
know? What do you know that it is? Because you seem pretty confident.
yeah, I mean, I've been doing this for a little while now, and I think my big difference is it's continuing education. When I first started in this industry, it was more trial by fire. Hey, you want to be a sales guy, go out, knock doors, be an appointment setter, get your feet wet, start talking to customers, learn how to do all these little things here and there, but there was never really. I worked for a company called PRQ for a little bit. They're still around. And when I asked them, like, hey, what do we do for continuing education? They're like, oh, well, get on the shingle manufacturer website and, you know, just do some reading. And I'm like,
Oh,
okay, well, great. But a lot of our suppliers, they actually put on yearly classes. Most manufacturers will have a class or two a year, if not three or four, if you hit all different kinds of suppliers that you can send your guys to. Um, I got the IRC and IBC books, which come from the International Code Council. That's the International Building Code and International Residential Building Code. So it's like two different books with all the really boring, like reading a dictionary almost,
sounds pretty
and
exciting. Yeah.
yeah, and so it's like all the technical definitions, all the weight requirements, and the test is like 4 hours open book, but you have to know a good general gist of what they're asking to go where they're looking for that exact answer.
Right.
And so um just being ahead of all of that stuff and not just learning through experience makes you a better tradesman in general. And then yeah, I mean, like I said, being a part of 4BR, you're building better business by referral. So you're not just trying to get referrals, but you're becoming someone who people know, like, and trust.
Hmm.
And in today's day and age, I was talking with another roofer, and there's over 4,000 active licenses in Colorado for
Wow.
roofing.
Wow.
So when you think about the competition of 4,000 other contractors, it really comes down to who do you know, like, and trust, because there's so many to sift through. So if people don't know who you are, then how are they going to use you?
Right.
So
No, that makes sense. That is kind of the golden standard: know, like, and trust. Right. That's
yeah,
how you build your business. Well, I'm not trying to plug 4BI, but that's how you build your business by referral. Just to use
yeah.
those exact words. Yeah, absolutely out there.
I'm I mean, it is the name of the networking, but it's a pretty solid concept. That's kind of the structure of our business. Is we're pretty much 90% referral. Every now and then we'll get a random internet lead from our local SEO marketing, but Most of it has come from past clients referring us, agents or real estate agents, and I guess I should say insurance agents or real estate agents, basically recurring business referring us out because we hold ourselves to a higher standard than just, some Joe guy with a truck.
Right. Yes. Yeah. We've all seen some Joe guy with the truck before, driving around trying to bring up some business. So yeah. Um, and then let me shift gears here as we wrap up in a little bit. So Colorado, you're a native. You're not going anywhere apparently. You a Broncos
Not,
fan, or what do you like?
not,
Oh
I got
no.
out of sports a while ago. um, I casually will watch the game with my dad because they're diehard Broncos fans. Um, Same thing with the Nuggets. I don't really do hockey. It's a little too fast paced for my eyes. The puck's hard to follow. Even after LASIK, I don't think my vision's got that great. Um, I'm not much of a baseball guy. Our baseball team hasn't been very
Very
good in a
interesting.
while.
Yeah. Right.
It's
Yes.
a it's a very expensive bar to hang out at.
That's a good way to put it. Yes. Um,
But I mean, I like the Nuggets. I had half season tickets for them. I like supporting small locals, so I'm one of the sponsors for the Spartans. It's arena football coming back. It's not as fancy as it used to be when the Colorado Crush were in town, and
mhm.
they used to be at Ball Arena. They're at the Colorado Coliseum. I one day hope that they will get back to that level, but they're gonna kind of have to, rebuild the fan base for sure. So
Right. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't even know that was going on. I'm more of a Broncos fan, not super hardcore, but definitely Broncos fan. Even though I'm from Indiana, I'm a transplant, so don't don't blame me. I've been here for 25 years, so I'm not the one filling up the state in the last handful of years here at least.
yeah, I mean, I don't have an issue with people moving here. I think that the culture in general has kind of grown a lot. The food has gotten a lot better here because of people moving here.
Oh yeah,
Um, I mean, yeah, the traffic is way worse, but there's a lot of people who are here for the right reasons. I just wish it didn't get so expensive.
yeah, that is true. But there is more roofs, right?
Yeah,
Just,
but
I don't know.
that's
Saying it
one
out
thing
loud.
that's one thing that's never going away. There's always going to be a roof somewhere. Kind of like cars. People need to get around.
Yes, that is absolutely true. um, maybe a wrap up question here. If you were talking with someone that was looking to start up their own business in your field or any field, what advice would you give them?
Um, if I could give someone starting business any advice, it would be that education and surrounding yourself with the right group of people is the most important thing, because the more you know and the more the people around you know, the faster you'll learn and grow into what you want to become. I think even in some of my 4BR groups, I was in the DTC group for a long time. People like Todd Huntner, who are way too smart for their own good,
That's
would
tough.
give you so many good business ideas just because they've been in business for so long that you can learn and tweak and adjust to your industry to fit yourself a little bit better. And it's almost like the cliff notes are a cheat code.
Hmm. Oh, that's good. Oh my gosh, that's fantastic. And let's leave it at that. I just want to thank you again for joining us here on Technologies Now, episode 4, and we'll call it a wrap. Thanks again.
Sounds good.